Hey there, Mission Control. Well, the family reunion is over. Sorry that it's taken me a while to get these videos up. Some of them I recorded during the last one I recorded during the reunion. This one I couldn't get to in time, so it's getting recorded after. But we had a great time. The family was awesome. We all sat down, just sat, talked, caught up, had some great food, had some good drinks. The young kids, man, they're getting so big. It's just, you know, it's amazing seeing time move on like it is. So it was a great time. Had a really good time. Let's go ahead and jump in. This will be the last video of the summer project updates. So I'm excited to get to it, and then we're going to get back out and get to work. This is a cross fence we put in just last year to help with a pasture management project that we did with help of our local conservation district. Really appreciate your guys' help, by the way. Thank you. We put it in because this field needed to be cut off while we replant it and keep the animals off of it for a year. This is the year that they'll be able to go back on. But D2, the destroyer, has also figured out, because of his lessons learned over winter, that he can go over the top of that fence. Whoa, D2 strikes again! Yeah, we fixed this like 3 times. Yay! Yeah. Take the hot wire that I have going right here in front of the garden and run it all the way down and get everything all squared up there. D2 strikes again. Electric fence. Yep, we got it all fixed, got it all put in. I think you saw me in one of my last videos. We actually got a new ground rod put in, so that really helped out. And the hot wire doesn't seem to bug them either. And that's a hot wire, so I don't really know what the big deal is. Yeah, so we got the ground rod in. Some of you have commented that, you know, it's the water content of the soil, or I should say lack thereof. So I have poured some buckets of water around the ground post. We'll see how that does. I actually have Darla, the new calf, as well as Daisy in the sacrifice area, kind of getting them trained on the hot wire. We're getting Darla trained on the hot wire. So it's field fence in there, and if she hits that fence there, she'll get trained. So it'll hopefully, in addition to having the ground in it, in addition to rewiring the entire electric fence so it really is a lot hotter, I think just getting them trained is going to make a big difference. So we got our coop there, and then actually put some flowers in, and have to create a chicken run for them, of course, but want to do some really beautiful flowers. We got chickens. Yeah, we got a person at work gave me the little coop that we had there, and originally put some fence up just right around it as they got used to being here, but we actually ended up just putting a gate that completely closed off the garden, and we just let them run around in there. I really wanted to get a flower bed put in for Mrs. Martian this year, but that did not happen, and it's not going to happen in time. We have way too much to do. So next year I'm really going to have to try to focus on getting that in for. So in the meantime, the chickens are in there just scratching everything up and making the dirt a lot better. A lot of fence. I got to walk the entire fence line. That's 20 acres worth of fence to walk. Say what? More fence to repair? I did a lot of that this year. It's all fixed. It's all fixed for now. So we've got to get ready for winter, though, and make sure everything's tight and good to go. Level that area and put a nice size shed out there. A nice size shed for the wood, as well as lawnmower and some other stuff, a little more storage area. I am totally thrilled with the wood shed that we got put in. You guys can go back and check out the build. It took me about 2 days to get the whole thing up. I designed it myself. Very, very happy with it. It can hold 8 cords of wood, which doubles the amount of wood that we normally go through. So I'm pretty excited about getting that thing all filled up, but that's another project. I'm out at the pool deck right now, and we have one of the posts came off. We're gonna have to redo the post and actually put through a metal peg all the way through, because the screws that I was using just ain't working, ain't cutting the job there, so we're gonna have to fix that. Okay, yeah, so the deck. If you watched the video before here with the projects on it, I kind of explained that the challenge here is that we're chasing some ground settling that's going on. So the ground's kind of doing this on us. And in addition, we have a lot of wind come through that's lifting up on things. So we're getting some dynamic motion that's kind of causing these issues. In addition to me just not being the world's greatest carpenter and choosing the wrong screws here. But the real problem is that we're chasing this leveling issue, and that really stems from the fact that I didn't compact the ground enough when we did this, so now I'm paying the price. So lesson learned to all you out there: if you're going to excavate, make sure you roll, vibrate, fully compact everything down. It will save you pain in the long run. We have quite a bit of erosion, which I've tried to keep back with the rocks here at the end. And then the chicken wire here underneath. This project turned out really nice. I'll have to do a video just on it because it really did turn out nice. I took railroad ties and I dug out that entire area back there and I put railroad ties all the way up. It looks like you're walking down a mine shaft. Came out really, really nice. It's really, really strong. I used rebar for each one of the pieces to basically nail each of the, they're 9 feet long? 9 foot long railroad ties to each other. So it's really strong. And then I had it lean backwards. So instead of just making it perfectly straight, it actually leans back a little bit like this, the way that they're stacked, a little stair step. So I'm really excited for that. That should stop a lot of our erosion problems. And then just took bark and I filled up everything. So there is some drainage there, but it's going to be nice. Once that grass grows up to it, it's going to be really nice. This house was built in 1999, and one thing that needs to be done to it is it really needs a good paint job. It's actually a really nice moment here, so let me show you this. Painting the house. Oh, I so got yelled at for this one. Just kidding. I came home one day and I was like, honey, I don't know how we're going to do all these things. You know, I just don't know how we're going to do it. So we're going to have to prioritize. So we prioritize, and for Mrs. Martian, she was pretty upset, but she agreed that this year we just have way too much to do, and painting the house isn't going to be one of the things we get to, but it has to get done next year. So I got to make sure that all my projects work around painting the house next year. I might be in big trouble. We have to do. I also have to go get hay, and I have to get wood for the wood. The good news is the hay is in, which is huge. So what do we get? Almost 600 bales of hay. That'll last us quite a few months. Almost 6 months is what I'm looking at. So that is a lot. We have half of it stored here, and then half of it is stored at a barn very close by where we actually get the hay from. They have a huge old barn. It's beautiful. And they store the hay for us, so we're really excited that they're that close, just like 2 miles away, not very far, maybe 3. So hay is in. Bad news is the wood's not in. That's going to happen. We have seasoned wood already. That's going to get cut and processed the first week in September. So take some time off there, and we're really going to just put our heads down and get it all done. So that's it for the projects that were talked about there. So we still have, let's see, what do we have to go? Big stuff. There's always little things, and I tend to talk about those when we do videos independently, and you know, you can see some of that. But just trying to think, the big stuff. So I still have automation. I have another video to show you the automation build completing, which means I still have cables to build and software to write, and then I have to install them. That's just going to be for the aquaponics control, and I'll have to come back to that after we get the microgreens in, because I'll have to add lighting and microgreen watering controls to it, but that's going to be easy to do, relatively speaking. Let's see here. Propane is getting installed on the 25th. We're converting the propane generator that the gas generator we have to run on both methane, propane, and gasoline. So we'll be able to hook that big generator up, 8,000 watt generator, up to a propane tank. So if the power goes out, it just sucks off the propane tanks that we have in. We don't have to worry about transporting even more fuel up here, so I'm excited about that. We have insulation that I'm currently working on trying to buy. It's been kind of bigger pain than I had hoped, but we're going to work through that. So that's heating, and then insulation. Microgreen shelves show up in September. They'll go up easy, and then we have the lighting and the watering systems that we have to put in. That'll take some more time. The good news is that it's August, and that's September, and that still gives us August or October to really deal with it in November. And if worst case comes, I can do, that's all inside work as long as all the parts are here before the snow comes. So that's a little risk mitigation there, but I want to be done on November 11th. I think the last big project of this year is the most unpleasant one I have to do. It's not the hardest one of the year. That was redoing the lanes, but this one's just unpleasant. I got to dig up the French drain, and I got to put I'm decided I'm going to put plastic down, like 2-3 layers worth of plastic, polyplastic, just folded up on top of each other, and I'm going to put that down along the perimeter of the entire building to move the frost line out away and help move some of the water away from the edges. And by moving that French drain out and putting the plastic, we're going to take plastic right up to the building, so the water will come down the building, and then the plastic will be covered up, of course, by either rock or dirt, and then the water, we're going to move that French drain out. So that was a hard decision. Just, it's the right decision to make, but if you ever had to make those decisions, you know they're right, but they just kind of suck and you don't want to do it, that's what that one was. So that's the remaining big projects. We're actually looking pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good news for the year as far as projects go. And if we get this all done, then really the major capacity improvements that we're looking for this year, refactoring the microgreens and all the major construction, is going to be done. And it's going to be game time throughout the winter to just grow everything and try to make money to pay for the cost of heating and everything. And at a minimum, we want to break even, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll for next summer. Very excited for spring all the way through fall, because we won't have to heat, and the weather will be great, and we'll have everything in, and I won't have to build anything except for maybe some defect problems and stuff like that, but those will always be there. So there is a very comprehensive 3-part update on our summer project, what the plan was and what's remaining to do. I hope you enjoyed this video series. I'm excited to get back out there and get to work, although Mrs. Martian and I are both exhausted. We had all the work that we're doing on the project, and we had just such a great family reunion, but whoever knew it was so much hard work to have so much fun. But it was well worth it. And to my entire family, I love you all with all my heart. I was so blessed to have you here. We were blessed to have you here. And then as soon as you guys left, it was like, well, it's way too quiet. We miss you guys. So I have such an awesome family, and I praise God. Thank you, God, for giving me such a great family, and for even being able to have the opportunity to talk to all of you about them and share this project. Thank you, big guy. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Hey. And subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. In the meantime, everybody, this is The Real Martian. Out.